Panama used a canal to change world trade. Now Jamaica may do the same by bringing back trains. In this video, we are going to look at how Jamaica is leveraging its strategic location to launch a 21st century rail revival. It's more than just tracks and trains. This is about cargo deals, technical innovation, tourism expansion, and nationwide development. We'll dive into government plans, investor interest, and the economic ripple effects this project could unleash. If you're curious about how infrastructure drives transformation, this is one story you don't want to miss. Let's explore how Jamaica's rails may unlock the island's next big leap. To start first, let's tackle the big question: why does rail matter for Jamaica right now? The truth is, the island's roads are groaning under the weight of countless delivery trucks and SUVs. That means congested highways, constant wear and tear, and rising carbon emissions. But imagine a robust rail system offering a cleaner, faster, and more efficient path for both people and goods. It's not merely about switching modes of transport, it's a catalyst for reshaping economic hubs, reconnecting remote towns, and reversing environmental damage. When rails run smoothly, Jamaica taps into new opportunities, reducing bottlenecks, cutting maintenance costs, and setting a foundation for long-term prosperity. In essence, laying these tracks isn't just about trains, it's about laying the groundwork for a more resilient, connected Jamaica. But before we look at how this can work today, let's rewind and revisit Jamaica's rich rail legacy. Turn back the clock to 1845. Jamaica was the first place in the Western Hemisphere to operate a railway, launching the Kingston Spanish Town Line. This wasn't just a novelty, it was a lifeline, carrying everything from people to produce and linking the capital with inland plantations. Over time, tracks stretched out to Montego Bay and beyond, stitching the island together in a network built for growth. By the mid-20th century, that network was dynamic, hauling bauxite, agricultural output, and daily commuters. But life changed. In 1992, passenger trains abruptly stopped, and although freight, mostly bauxite, lingered, the system quickly deteriorated. Lines fell into disrepair, stations crumbled, and overgrowth seized control. Fast forward to the early 2020s, just when rail seemed lost to history, a glimmer of revival appeared. In 2022, the government launched a pilot passenger line between Old Harbor, Linstead, and Spanish Town. It was modest, a few refurbished coaches, eager students. But that little spark ignited widespread debate. Could this pilot lead to a full revival? Now the answer feels like a determined yes. The spark is real, but freight is where this revival gains traction. Let's see how it comes to life. See, in March 2025, Jamaica Railway Corporation, JRC, inked a 15-year, $33 million partnership with the Mineral Agency for Retail and Logistics, MIRL. Together, they're targeting the transport of heavy building materials, limestone and gravel, from Old Harbor to Linstead, and marl from Bogwalk to Port Esquivel. This rail corridor alone can shift around 1 million tons of materials per year, generating an estimated $480 million in revenue. What does that translate to on the ground? Fewer heavy trucks tearing up highways, lower road maintenance costs, and reduced carbon emissions. Analysts forecast a near 20% drop in congestion and freight transport expenses, a huge win. This move mirrors the Panama Canal's phase strategy: secure a steady income with freight, then reinvest for expansion. This freight-first model offers something powerful. It's a self-sustaining launchpad. With revenue flowing from materials transport, Jamaica can rebuild infrastructure smartly and confidently. This isn't guesswork, it's solid, profit-generating groundwork paving the way for further growth. Freight creates the foundation. Now, let's explore how tourism rides the rails next. But this revival isn't all trucks and stone. It also embraces luxury travel. A high-end tourist rail route is in development, linking Montego Bay with the iconic Appleton Estate in St. Elizabeth. The plan rolls out in 2 phases. Phase 1 connects Montego Bay, Montpelier, and Appleton Estate. Phase 2 could extend the line to cruise ship ports, creating a seamless experience for travelers. It's more than a novelty, it's a fully packaged experience. For an estimated $30 to $35 million, Jamaica is tapping into models like California's Napa Valley Wine Train, St. Kitts Scenic Railway, and even Panama Canal cruise excursions. Picture tourists sipping estate-made rum, walking through century-old sugar plantations, and gliding through verdant mountains, all aboard a purpose-built, comfortable train. This is more than nostalgia. With scenic views, cultural immersion, and curated tasting experiences, the line offers not just a ride, but a destination. It's the kind of journey that adds memorability to a vacation, boosting tourism and highlighting Jamaica's heritage in one seamless travel package. Having outlined the tourist appeal, let's see the brains behind building it and who's offering technical expertise. For this vision to succeed, Jamaica isn't going it alone. Partnerships are forming to bring expertise, training, and strategic planning. The University of Technology, Jamaica, UTech, signed an MOU with the University of Birmingham in the UK to collaborate on engineering research, technical planning, and training programs. This ensures the trains don't run on hope. They run on data-driven insight and local foreign cooperation. On the industry front, international railway firms have had Jamaica on their radar for years. Germany's Herzog International, for example, has been engaged since 2016, recognizing the island's potential. Now, momentum is accelerating. The blueprint is clear, a 30-year master plan built in phases, starting with freight, evolving into commuter lines, and culminating in tourist routes, echoing UK's own HS2 strategy. By organizing each phase carefully, Jamaica can align investment, resources, and workforce development efficiently. This blend of academic rigor and industry experience ensures Jamaica is laying strategic groundwork, not just rusty tracks and occasional trains. It guarantees scalable, sustainable systems built with both technical excellence and local relevance. With technical foundations solid, what can everyday Jamaicans expect in their communities? The ripple effects go far beyond steel and ties. Let's talk community impact. In rural towns, revitalized rail service means tourists arrive, jobs open up, and local businesses, food stands, crafts, guest houses, spring to life. That's not conjecture. Look at St. Kitts, where its scenic railway supports a thriving local ecosystem, sustaining families through tourism spin-offs. In urban hubs like San Juan, Puerto Rico, or Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, new metro lines have reshaped commuting, saved time, reduced gridlock, and improved air quality. Even Cuba, often seen as a rail heavyweight in the Caribbean, is investing $2 billion to modernize its Havana-Santiago rail corridor, aiming to boost both freight and passenger options. The environmental benefits can't be overstated. Trains emit far less CO2 per ton-mile than trucks, and they cause less damage to road infrastructure. That translates to cleaner air, lower healthcare costs, and less strain on public works budgets. It's a virtuous cycle. Better transport yields a better environment, which yields better communities. This is how rail becomes a multi-layered engine, not just moving goods and people, but driving economic uplift, environmental stewardship, and improved quality of life at every turn. Of course, no major infrastructure overhaul is without obstacles. Let's examine the challenges. While the railway revival is full of promise, the road, or rather, the track, isn't entirely smooth. One of the biggest hurdles is the current state of infrastructure. Many of the old railway lines are now overgrown, corroded, or completely dismantled. Bridges have collapsed or weakened over decades, and stations that once bustled with travelers are now shells of their former selves, some converted into homes, storage spaces, or simply left abandoned. Then there's the matter of funding. The luxury tourism phase alone requires $35 million, but that's only a piece of the puzzle. Reviving freight corridors, building new commuter lines, and maintaining them year after year all demand substantial capital. Investors won't commit to long-term projects unless there's clarity on returns, solid feasibility studies, and a stable political and regulatory climate. Another unavoidable issue is stakeholder resistance. Jamaica's transport ecosystem is heavily reliant on trucks, jitneys, and taxi operators. These groups fear the railway will reduce their income or displace them entirely. Unless these concerns are addressed with transparency, collaboration, and perhaps even compensation or retraining, the rail project could face fierce opposition from those who rely on road transport for their livelihoods. There are also operational concerns. Jamaica's public bus system, JUTC, has long operated under financial pressure. If rail is to avoid the same fate, it must follow a strong business model, complete with strategic scheduling, routine maintenance, onboard security, and reliable service. Without those, public confidence and usage could crumble quickly. The challenges are real, but they're not insurmountable. So how can Jamaica move past these obstacles and make this vision a reality? Let's explore some strategies that could pave the way. To navigate these roadblocks and create a railway system that works for everyone, Jamaica must adopt a holistic and phased approach. The first crucial step is executing an integrated national rail master plan. This blueprint should detail each phase, from freight to commuter to tourism, over a 30-year period. Such long-term planning ensures clarity in execution, guides investor decisions, and helps governments prioritize infrastructure rollouts sensibly. Next is the use of public-private partnerships, PPPs. By offering concession agreements to private investors for rail usage, operations, or even station development, Jamaica can attract fresh capital while maintaining government oversight. These agreements must be clear, secure, and legally enforceable to offer investors the confidence they need. Another strategy lies in real estate development. In cities like Tokyo and New York, railway stations double as commercial zones. Shops, restaurants, and even office spaces thrive around transit hubs. Jamaica can adopt this model, creating mini urban centers that generate revenue beyond ticket sales. This is key for financial sustainability. Equally important is a freight-first focus. The limestone, bauxite, and construction materials markets offer a consistent revenue stream. By stabilizing income through freight, the rail company can reinvest profits to expand into commuter and tourism sectors without over-reliance on external loans or grants. Community inclusion is non-negotiable. Existing transport operators must not be seen as casualties of progress, but as potential partners. Offering training programs, new job pathways, or even contracting opportunities to taxi and truck associations can convert opposition into support. Finally, education and training must take center stage. Thanks to partnerships with UTech and the University of Birmingham, Jamaica can cultivate a new generation of engineers, railway planners, and technicians. These aren't just jobs, they're careers that will serve the country for decades. With these strategies in place, the railway dream becomes less of a gamble and more of a grounded, practical transformation. All of this may sound ambitious, but the playbook has been written before, by none other than the builders of the Panama Canal. When the Panama Canal opened in 1914, it didn't just create a shortcut between oceans. It redefined global trade. It gave a small country global importance and turned logistics into a national asset. Jamaica's railway ambitions, while not as globally monumental, carry similar regional potential. Both projects began with economic necessity. The Panama Canal was about trade. Jamaica's railway is about connecting production zones with export hubs and tourists with experiences. Both focused on infrastructure as economic leverage, proving that efficient transport can attract foreign investment, grow GDP, and stimulate rural economies. Jamaica's version of this starts with limestone and bauxite, just like the canal began with cargo ships. Then, as the system stabilizes, passenger lines will extend to city centers and tourist destinations. It's a phased revolution, not a one-shot miracle, and the potential is enormous. Jamaica could emerge as a logistics gateway for the Caribbean with rail lines feeding into expanded ports and industrial zones. The knock-on effects? More exports, increased employment, and stronger regional trade alliances. The Panama Canal proved that the right infrastructure, executed with vision and discipline, can change a nation's trajectory. Jamaica now has the chance to follow suit, with steel tracks instead of sea lanes. Jamaica's Railway Revival isn't just a transport project, it's a national transformation in motion. It connects rural towns, relieves congested roads, boosts the economy, and repositions the island on the global stage. But for it to succeed, it needs public support, bold leadership, and a shared belief in long-term vision. If this story inspired or intrigued you, do one simple thing. Hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more deep dives into powerful projects shaping our world. Would you ride Jamaica's new railway or invest in the freight future? Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear from you.